Good evening, all, and thanks for joining us. Short notice. This is a Micky Antonio special because there's really nothing else to talk about at the moment. For those of you that are not aware, Micky had a serious car accident this afternoon around the Epping area. Some people are saying High Beach, and I won't show the pictures of the accident, but you can look them up yourself if you want to. But it looks like the car's taken a massive impact from the side towards the front, and it looks like when you look at it closely that the seat back and the seat is largely intact, but where his legs would have been, that's destroyed, right? So that's not good at all. And when we first heard that it had been airlifted away, airlift. They only airlift people away when it's serious, right? Obviously. And so we were sort of waiting for a couple of hours to hear the club say something, and they did. They came out, and first of all, they said West Ham can confirm that Micky Antonio has today been involved in a road traffic accident. The thoughts and prayers of everyone at the club are with Micky, his friends, his family and friends at this time. The club will issue an update in due course. And then probably about an hour or so later, we got a further update from the club, where it said West Ham United can confirm that Micky Antonio is in a stable condition following a road traffic accident this afternoon in the Essex area. Micky is conscious and communicating and is currently under close supervision in a central London hospital. At this difficult time, we kindly ask everyone to respect the privacy of Micky and his family. The club will make no further comment this evening, but we'll issue a further update in due course. And that's that is it as far as the updates go. Now, Cass Pennant, who personally I trust Cass. He's I don't know whether he's there or whether he's got this, but he's given a bit more detail. He said it's a double fracture, compound fracture. So that suggests it's nowhere near as bad as we first feared. But anyway, we're not medical people. You take what we say here with a pinch of salt as for regard to medical side. He said he's been on a ventilator most of the afternoon. Now that's normal, right? That's normal for people who are in shock after such a serious trauma. He's come round within the last 2 hours, which is why the statement has come out from West Ham. It means, but it's still a very bad situation, and he may never play again. Depending on the seriousness of the next 48 hours. And I think any of you who know someone who's been in a serious road traffic accident, you realise that they've got to be under close observation, probably in ICU for the first 48 hours, which is the important period. That's the important period. They've got to monitor every aspect of him to make sure there's no further injuries. Because the most important thing, Chris, is that he survives and he comes through this intact afterwards, right?
Yeah, of course it is, mate. I mean, I don't think we would have done this live if we wouldn't have got those facts from West Ham Football Club to say that he is actually alive, and that is the main thing. Because, yeah, it's horrific news. I mean, it really is horrific news. Yeah. But I think, but we always come on here and we talk about football stuff, but all of that stuff pales into insignificance when things like this happen. It just goes to show how fragile life is and how fragile life can be. It doesn't matter how much money in the world you've got, how much fame you've got, it's the same for every single one of us. And obviously our thoughts go out to, Micky and his family. I'm just glad that he's stable. I think that's the most important thing, that he is stable. And the truth be told is that the first thing you think about in these situations are his family. He's got young kids, he's got a young family, and looking at, it's hard to take positives out of this, but the positive is their kids have still got a father. That's the most important thing, right? Football, and I'm sure even Antonio himself would probably feel he's almost lucky in some respects that he is still alive, and he's still going to be there for his kids, and that's the most important thing, mate. It really is. But it's awful news, and then I felt really stressed and sick actually when I saw that. I just really felt the worst.
Me too. Yeah,
just glad to hear that he's stable, and hopefully he has a real quick recovery. What else can you say?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think as Cass said there, the first 48 hours are really critical. They'll be monitoring really closely, probably in real time. That's what they usually do in ICU, you know, he's in a central London hospital, so that suggests, you know, one of the big trauma hospitals. I expect if it's an air ambulance, it'll be the Royal London. That's you know, the one in Whitechapel. I know that because they've got a helipad on the roof, and that's where they've got the best trauma centres and everything else. So all you can say is he's going to be getting the very, very best care from the NHS in that hospital. That is a centre of excellence for that kind of stuff. Again, I've had a lot to do with London Hospital in the past, so you know, a lot of faith in them. Maybe St Bart's, as somebody says, yeah, it could be, but you know, wherever it is, even if it's Bart's, that's another great hospital, right? So whether it's the Royal London or Bart's, is in the best possible place to make a full recovery. You know, again, going back to the pictures, if he's come out of that with just double fracture to his legs, he's had a massive result. So let's hope that's all it is. You know, this is our this is Micky, who's been such a loyal servant to us in the last 7 years. You know, he's our top scorer in the Premier League ever. You know, this is as close to a West Ham legend, cult hero that you're going to get, right? He's played his part in a lot of important days and nights for West Ham, and you know, we've got a lot of time for him as a player who always gives his all, always runs himself into the ground. Demonstrated only a week ago away at Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
He's blood and thunder, you know, all in sort of character, and yeah, I just wish him a very, very, you know, silly to wish him a speedy recovery. I mean, it's silly to say that until we know the ramification, but I wish him a speedy recovery as possible, and that he gets all of his faculties and all of his arms and legs back working again. You know, that is the important thing. Football is not the important thing. It's being able to, you know, get your health and your mobility and everything else back in order. So I hope he can do that for him and his family as soon as he possibly can.
Yeah. No, I think you've hit the nail on the head, mate. And as I said already, football really does pale into insignificance at moments like this. I couldn't give a toss about any games coming up right now.
No,
really couldn't. I don't think. And I saw a comment there just now saying that I don't care about, don't care about football and everything.
You shouldn't care about football. This is human. This is human level. It's a whole nother level, right?
Of course it is. It just doesn't matter. And, you know, like on a personal note, so I've met Antonio before. I met him actually, and I had a good chat with him. First time I met him, and I think I've shared this story with you before, Gal, but it was when we actually signed him. So it was in the Payet season when he came to the club in Forest. And I remember he wasn't really playing games for us right at the start of that season. And obviously we were playing at Upton Park. And, you know, my boy, he was very, very small at that particular time. And he used to hang around outside trying to get the players' autographs and everything else. And loads of the players were being ambushed as per usual. A lot of players didn't sign autographs, jumped in their cars and went away. And Antonio, because, you know, he hadn't played for us. I think he made 1 or 2 substitute appearances. But I went up to him and I called him over, and he came over, and he was such a lovely, down-to-earth guy, like really, really grounded guy. Yeah. And I remember having the conversation saying, you know, wishing you the best of luck with your career at West Ham. He said, look, I'm going to try the hardest. He was just such a nice fella. And I think that's what it comes down to. He's a good guy. You know, he's a good guy. We all know about his background, you know, and I think him, I mean, yeah, he is what you would say, certainly an iconic status at West Ham Football Club. But, you know, irrespective of whether he's an icon or whether he wasn't, what matters is his health and his family, and that he recovers as quickly as he possibly can do. And he's still there, and he's still going to be a dad to his kids, because those sort of things you always worry about, don't you, when things like this happen, right? You think straight away the kids, the family. So yeah, I'm relieved that he's alive. I mean, of course he's not well, but he's alive. He's stable, and you know, all of the leg breaks. You know, the truth is, I'm sure Antonio would say right now he's just happy just to be here, and
that is what everybody
says out the window, mate.
Yeah,
this out the window now.
This kind of thing, it's an eye opener. It's a wake up call for a lot of people, and they realise, you know, just how lucky they are to have their health and their family around them and stuff like that. And I'm sure he's going to have the same effect on him. Now, you know, today there's a lot of speculation going around what happened in the accident. Nobody knows. It's all top secret. I'm not going to speculate. It's all I say is there's a massive storm going on outside. literally anything could have happened. I've been out this afternoon. You see people getting baffled, frankly, with the wind and the rain and everything else, right? So anything could have happened, you know. Also, you know, it's worth mentioning as well, you know, this is the end of a period where Micky's had lots of personal problems, you know, and he's had problems with mental health and everything else. He's struggled. So, you know, again, from that point of view, it's also going to be a struggle for him. So it's not just recovering physically, it's recovering mentally as well. You know, this is a player who is like proper Royal Rovers stuff. He came to us all the way from non-league via Nottingham Forest and a couple of other clubs, didn't he? I mean, it's really is a, you know, a true sort of rags to riches story. What he's done with his career and his life. You know, amazing to play so long at the top level, and you know, still putting the performances he puts in full of heart. Age 35 years old, nearly. You know,
which for a lot of fans is so relatable when you look at that background that he's had, as you say, coming from non-league, you know, potentially never even thought he was going to make it, kind of thing, you know. And he's had a fantastic career to date. And as I said, I don't think, you know, his career moving forward is of any importance to him at this moment in time. It's not. Why would it be? Why would it be? You know, the most important thing is that he's alive and he's there for his family. And that's what you can kind of really say. And I just also hope that. Yeah. You know, in moments like this, and West Ham is a unique club, that it brings all of the fan base together, you know, because everything that, you know, even we've been moaning about, you know, the fans moan about, the channels moan about, it really doesn't mean anything, you know, when shit like this happens, mate. It just doesn't. It really, really doesn't. And I'd like to think that hopefully this can bring that togetherness, you know, back to the club again.
And I know there have been a lot of people saying nice things about him this afternoon. You'd expect that, you know. However, you have to call out one group, and that is, you know, another club similar status to ourselves in Nottingham Forest, you know, a real club, a proper club. They're the only other ones who've really had the same sort of relationship with Micky that we've had.
Yeah.
And so they've sent their obviously their best wishes and everything else, and you know, absolutely shocked at what's happened. So you know, let's hope with a pair of positive thought and good hospital care that he can make a full recovery as quickly as possible.
He's in the best possible place for that, obviously, right? So let's just say, let's hope he gets through this. And I don't really know what more there is to say on this guy.
Nothing, Chris.
Well, there isn't, mate. But you know, one thing I will call out some sick individuals out there on the internet as well, right? Because you know, we would only come on if we actually have some form of kind of factual information. Okay, the factual information coming from the club is that he's stable, right? Which is something that we wanted to come here and say and share with the wider audience, because that's the most important thing. But some of the things people put out there, I think, you know what, shame on you, because you're absolutely disgusting, vile human beings to say some of the things that you said without even knowing. I think it's absolutely disgusting. It really is. So yeah.
Well, you know, I think you know, not going to mention any of them, but I said a comment earlier, which was, you know, where do people get off doing this? Well, the fact is, they actually get off doing it, right? They love the attention, so we're not going to give them any attention. So back to the most important thing: get well soon, Micky. Love to your family, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing else to say really, but yeah, I think just let's get all that togetherness back, you know, try and wipe out all the bullshit negativity that's been going around the club for a long time. Because the most important thing is life. That's the most important thing, right? You know, we should be grateful. We should be grateful for every single day that we get, you know. And I know these are the cliches and stuff, but it's true. It's so true. And you know, these moments can get taken away so easily. Such a fragile thing is life, you know. And I think it's hopefully this does, as I say, put some kind of form of perspective to people, because it's more important things in football in life. It really is.
Live for today, because it can all change in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely. So my kind of message out there, because I know we're not going to do a long one at all tonight, is just really all the best to every single West Ham fan out there in the chat. Let's all stay positive for Antonio, and let's hope he gets through this as well as he possibly can do, right? And all the best to his family as well.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments, and I think we'll leave it there, Chris. Nothing else.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night, all.